problem that I have, I think the police did what they were supposed to do. They came in, they came through the door, they arrested him. He's bonded out since. The problem that I have is that there's this thing that we're dealing with right now that's called mental issue.
Rumor of Jake Paul and Ryan Garcia fighting on Netflix to replace Gervonta Davis. Jake Paul, if you guys haven't seen, Gervonta Davis in another sexual assault allegation, lawsuits incoming, potentially criminal charges levied. We don't know yet, but we know that fight is up in the air, and I think that fight's not going to happen.
It already happened. You knew it happened, and you made the fight anyway. So now, based on something you already knew happened, now you're just saying, oh, no, because this happened, we're not going to do the fight. But you knew already in the first place.
Yeah, the history was already there.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And for this particular situation, by the way, mind you, the girl now is coming with a civil suit.
Yes.
She probably saw that he signed the
Shannon Sharpe didn't hold back after Gervonta Davis's arrest. He spoke with intensity, emphasizing that the person affected by the situation deserves real support and professional care. Sharpe criticized the tendency to dismiss it as a simple mental health issue, reminding everyone that such actions cause deep harm to others and require genuine accountability, not just sympathy. He went on to say that with this incident, Tank may have seriously damaged his own career.
I'm a protector. Is the abuser. You lose a sense of protection of what you think a protector should do, because you're supposed to protect me from this. If someone is trying to do this to me, you're supposed to jump in and be my superhero. You're not supposed to commit this.
Because when the person who's meant to protect you becomes the one who causes harm, it shatters your entire sense of safety. The very idea of what a protector should be gets broken. You expect them to shield you, to step in like a superhero when someone tries to hurt you, not to be the one who does the hurting.
Davis, we had to go right to the source. What can you tell us? Is there any possibility that Francis Ngannou will step in for Gervonta Davis and fight Jake Paul?
No, there's no such of thing happening. Basically, like how can they go from like Gervonta Davis to Francis Ngannou? Like, I mean, Gervonta Davis is a fantastic boxer, but and is a one-shot knockout artist. But come on, like the weight different and everything, it make no sense. You know, the Gervonta Davis, you count, you say, okay, the size different can level up. But at this point, for me to...
For the situation involving Gervonta Davis, we went straight to the source. The big question was, is there any chance that Francis Ngannou could step in for Gervonta Davis and fight Jake Paul? The answer is no. There's absolutely nothing like that happening. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, how could anyone go from Gervonta Davis to Francis Ngannou? Davis is an incredible boxer, a pure knockout artist, but they're completely different in size, style, and skill set. Matching those two up would be unrealistic and out of place, no matter how you look at it.
And you say, yeah, Jake Paul, you know, he's fighting. I'm like, no, bro, come on. Don't disrespect me like that. And then they even say like, they even come out after and say, and what if the number are good? He send out some number. I'm like, it's not about the number. If it was about the number, we could have started talk. I would have tell you, I'm not just interested. It make no sense for me. It's not my what I'm looking at right now.
So there is no dollar amount. It's more the opponent. The fight makes no sense. They could offer you $100 million and you wouldn't be interested.
The fight made no sense. That's what I think. That's my my position. And though I went back, I saw...
Francis Ngannou himself spoke out clearly against the rumors linking him to Jake Paul. He stated that he would never accept a fight that feels like a publicity stunt. After facing elite competitors like Tyson Fury, Ngannou believes that stepping into the ring with a YouTuber-turned-boxer would be an insult to his legacy and abilities. His comments came shortly after Jake Paul's camp started hinting at possible negotiations. Ngannou quickly shut those rumors down, emphasizing that fighters should respect their craft and not turn combat sports into a show just for online clicks. His firm response reflected his professionalism and self-respect, something many fans praised, agreeing that a matchup between him and Jake Paul would make little sense, either competitively or financially.
If that is the route they're going, then it kind of dissuades what I thought may happen, which was this rumor of Jake Paul and Ryan Garcia fighting on Netflix to replace Gervonta Davis. Jake Paul, if you guys haven't seen Gervonta Davis in another sexual assault allegation, lawsuits incoming, potentially criminal charges levied. We don't know yet, but we know that fight is up in the air, and I think that fight's not going to happen, and they're going to either have to move the fight back or they're going to have to look to a replacement or both. I don't know. And the rumor was one of the replacements was talked about and even offered to Ryan Garcia. Well, here is Ryan Garcia's promoter, Oscar De La Hoya, speaking on that rumor and what's next for Ryan.
It's happy Saturday, so I wake up to calls from reporters asking me about Jake Paul and Ryan Garcia. Let me just tell you why this fight is not going to happen. Ryan Garcia fights for DAZN, and Jake Paul fights on Netflix. I mean, that's pretty much the bottom line. Golden Boy has a contract with DAZN. Ryan Garcia has a contract with Golden Boy. And that's just the way it is. I mean, this is business. You know, Ryan Garcia's probably going to go on a rant saying, oh, you're keeping me from making money and this and that and fighting. No. You have to go by the law, by the rules. You have a contract with DAZN. You have a contract with Golden Boy. It just doesn't happen that way. So anyway, until next time, we'll see you Saturday for Virgil Ortiz. But again, Ryan Garcia's next fight will be announced by me, who he's fighting, and when he's fighting next. See you guys.
It always seems like when Oscar decides to address something with Ryan Garcia, that he's not only addressing us, the people, that he's addressing Ryan Garcia. He's like, through us, telling Ryan, no, you're not fighting Jake Paul, no matter how much you want to fight. That's what it seems like, is like, no matter how much you want to fight Jake Paul, you're not fighting him. I don't even think that was meant for us. I think that was him telling Ryan. And you even hear it there. He's like, oh, Ryan's going to say, I'm keeping him from making money or whatever. But in this case, Oscar is right. If Ryan is signed to Golden Boy and Golden Boy is exclusively signed to DAZN for, fight rights, then Ryan has to fight on DAZN. I think that's pretty reasonable for Oscar. I didn't know that Golden Boy was exclusive to DAZN. I didn't know that was a thing. But if that is the...
With Gervonta Davis now out of the picture, Jake Paul faces a serious challenge in finding a worthy opponent. For a brief moment, Ryan Garcia's name surfaced as a potential replacement, but that idea quickly disappeared. Garcia remains under contract with Golden Boy Promotions, while Jake Paul promotes his own fights under his personal brand in partnership with Netflix. These conflicting promotional and broadcasting deals make any matchup between them nearly impossible to organize. That on top of that, Ryan Garcia's camp has reportedly shown no interest in taking part in a Netflix-hosted boxing event, closing the door on any realistic chance of that fight happening.
Aggravated battery, false imprisonment, kidnapping, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Lawsuit comes 2 months after Davis's previous domestic violence case was dropped by a different ex-girlfriend and the mother of 2 of the boxer's 3 children. I just think MVP is in the business of being the home of women, right? At this point, like, that's a huge part of their identity. What is their identity? It's Jake Paul and women's boxing. That's their identity right now. And they've done a phenomenal job for the women. And so how, with these allegations lingering and now coming to light 2 weeks before, how can you go through with it? And it sounds like they feel the same way. It's an impossible spot to be in.
The only part I'd say is, like, you kind of know who this guy is ahead of time. Like, this is not exactly a shocking revelation. Like, Tank Davis is, this is not the first rodeo. But I do think it's too close to the fight to really be, messing around here. Like, you got to figure out a new solution.
And so there's been multiple reports regarding people that they've reached out to. Names like Ryan Garcia have been brought up. Terrence Crawford has been brought up. Francis Ngannou has been brought up. And Francis Ngannou spoke to TMZ today, and he did confirm that he was contacted. And the quote was, "How can they go from Gervonta Davis to Francis Ngannou? It makes no sense." He was like, quote, "We think about you to fight Jake." I'm like, what? Which Jake? Bro, come on, don't disrespect me like that.
What the fuck is that?
That might have been the most timely "what the F is that" of all time. What do you guys think about that stance from Francis? Because actually, there's a part of me that thinks, take the fight, you knock him out, you'll be like 65 pounds bigger than him, and it's a nice little feather in your cap.
I think that was a great backup solution. I think Francis versus Jake is a great fight.
If it goes all
Compelling
according to
too.
plan, like he should.
On the Ariel Helwani show, analysts discussed how Gervonta Davis's latest lawsuit has dealt a major blow to his public image and boxing career. The case was filed just 2 months after a previous legal issue, making it clear that Davis's troubles outside the ring are far from over. Ariel Helwani and his panel pointed out that these recurring incidents reflect a troubling pattern of behavior, one that's damaging not only his career, but also his personal relationships. They also noted that the highly anticipated Netflix fight with Jake Paul is now in serious danger. According to reports, Netflix is hesitant to link its first major boxing event to a fighter facing multiple legal controversies. As a result, Jake Paul is under pressure to quickly find a new opponent to prevent the event from being postponed or even canceled altogether.
I don't know. It's like damn if you do, damn if you don't. He had already had this history. He's trying to be better. And this is something that had already happened in the past, right? I mean, this was already known when they signed.
Yeah,
this
he
fight.
wasn't arrested.
He did this prior to this being signed, so you already knew this happened. It was regurgitated as a civil suit,
Right.
but it was already something that everybody knew had happened in the past. So it's not like something new happened after he signed the fight. So that's what I don't understand, and that's why I don't want to see that. You know, I don't want to see that the kids still lose out on it that way for that reason. Because I don't know, to me it doesn't add up. You know, it already happened. You knew it happened, and you made the fight anyway. But now, based on something you already knew happened, now you're just saying, oh no, because this happened, we're not going to do the fight. But you knew already in the first place.
Yeah, the history was already there.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And for this particular situation, by the way, mind you, the girl now is coming with a civil suit.
Yes.
She probably saw that he signed.
Chael Sonnen shared his perspective on the situation, questioning why Jake Paul's team and the media have reacted so strongly to the lawsuit. He pointed out that Gervonta Davis has not been proven guilty and therefore shouldn't be treated as if he is. Sonnen argued that Jake Paul may be overreacting by calling off the fight before any official ruling has been made. He reminded fans that boxing has a long history of fighters dealing with legal or personal controversies, yet most bouts still proceed as planned. According to Sonnen, Jake Paul might be using the controversy as a convenient reason to avoid facing a dangerous opponent. His comments sparked widespread debate among fans. Some agreed that the fight should have gone ahead, while others felt that Jake Paul and Netflix made the right decision to protect their brand and public image.
He has one job to do, which is to let anybody know that's listening that it doesn't make any difference, that boxing is a real sport. My skills versus your skills, of which I have an abundance of and of which you have none of. My life's commitment and dedication versus a second or third or fourth thought in the world of priority on your list. And I used to believe those things. Now, I go back far enough in MMA that I've had my eyes open a number of times. The fact that karate was so incredibly useless, or the fact that Jeet Kune Do was so incredibly useless, like these were not things that I would have bet on when I was in high school. As a wrestler at that time, I would not have assumed that I would fare well in a fight against somebody that knew Kung Fu. We had all been falsely led through Hollywood. Not through competition, not through sport, not through understanding of the game, but just through Hollywood. We were told that those guys were the most dangerous guys. So, we then eventually get up to Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather, which had a weight discrepancy, but it was very small. I mean, I watched them weigh in. I want to say it was...
Rolando Raleigh Romero quickly stepped forward and offered to replace Gervonta Davis. He took to social media, declaring that he'd be ready within a week to face Jake Paul. With full confidence, Romero claimed he could knock Jake out in silence, all the talk questioning whether Paul is a real boxer. His bold challenge immediately caught fire online, sparking debates among fans about whether this would be a fair matchup. Known for his power, charisma, and outspoken personality, Raleigh's willingness to step in on short notice showed his hunger to stay active and relevant in the fight scene. While Jake Paul has yet to respond officially, Romero's proposal added new energy to the conversation, keeping fans engaged and wondering who will ultimately step into the ring next.
Man, I want to let everybody know I'm going to slap Jake Paul across his face because, first and foremost, man, I'm tired of this YouTube boxing stuff, man. I really am. I am more tired of this YouTube boxing stuff than everyone else, man. Oh, let's make this happen, bro. Bro, I'll be ready in a week. I'll be ready to slap Jake Paul across the face in a week. I will slap Jake Paul across his face. But who cares? I don't care. Roll over Jake Paul 2025, bro. I knocked out another YouTuber. I knocked out. But Jake Paul gets knocked out.
Analysts from several boxing shows argued that Jake Paul's criticism of Gervonta Davis appeared hypocritical. They noted that the case against Davis is a civil lawsuit, not a criminal charge, meaning it doesn't automatically make him guilty of anything. Some commentators also reminded audiences that Jake Paul himself has faced similar allegations in the past involving a former partner. They suggested that he shouldn't present himself as morally superior when his own reputation outside the ring has been controversial. This comparison added another layer of complexity to the situation. Many fans began questioning Jake's true motives for canceling the fight, suggesting he might be using the lawsuit as a public relations strategy rather than a genuine stand for ethics or values.